Hello, class! I am Professor Hatter. Welcome to a hat reveal video here. I'm going over two new hats. One of them you have already seen if you have watched my channel before and my previous videos. I did a hat reveal, initial reveal video when I was at work. The hat I got from eBay, and I did an unboxing at Fresh Time, so if you've seen it, you know what it is. But if you haven't, then subscribe to the channel, be a part of the class, and then you'll see that video, you'll see the videos in the future of when I do these unboxings and unveils and hat reveals. So, yeah, something like that. Words getting mixed up here. The other hat I'm going over in this video is another hat from eBay. Two hats from eBay. I got back into the eBay game. Hats are pretty cheap, which is pretty good. Just the whole issue of, getting the hat shipped to my house is the biggest problem. Because I don't really like the family knowing that I, have my hat addiction up and running so well. So I like to keep that secret in a way. Anyways, so the other hat that I hadn't revealed at all is a rare 1 of 100 ever made hats. Pretty cool hat. I can guarantee that none of you have this hat in your collection. Well, of course, because it's 1 of 100. Yes, Billy pointed that out, my TA. Of course, Billy, but the point is, the way the hat... Well, of course, Billy, but my point is, even, what's on it, no one would ever think to get it. It's a non-sports hat, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone would even remotely think about getting this kind of hat. So, we're going to go through a few other things in the video before the hat reveal, and that'll be fun to do. So, get out a notebook, pencil, pen, and paper for note-taking today, because it'll be a good class today. Class is in session. Let's go. Now, before I get into the actual hat reveals, I want to go over something important quickly. It doesn't get enough attention. As you can see, my hat that I'm wearing in this video is my Chicago Sky WNBA Snapback, and not the logo I would want. They have a different logo that I like better, but this was what was available on lids. Pretty good price, too. I've been trying to get into the WNBA more and more. I follow the Chicago Sky, of course. I've been following the Las Vegas Aces, who used to be San Antonio Stars. They're from San Antonio. I forget the name of the team from before. But last year was the first year in Vegas. And Seattle Storm is also a good team, especially because of the reigning MVP, Breanna Stewart from UConn. But she got injured in off-season in Russia doing another basketball tournament, which is really unfortunate. And then Elena Delle Donne, I root for. She plays for the Washington, D.C., or Washington Mystics. And she used to play for the Chicago Sky, but she got traded. It's a rare thing for players to be traded, at least beforehand. Now it's a little bit more of a recurring thing. And she got traded because her hometown is in Delaware, and her sister has some medical condition where she needs more attention, and Elena just wanted to be closer to her sister. So, can totally respect that, and want to go over this upcoming weekend. From when I'm filming, July 27th is the WNBA All-Star Game. I just wanted to go over a little bit here that Elena Delle Donne is a captain for the East, and who was a captain for the West? The Asia Wilson from Las Vegas Aces. Her second year, and she was from South Carolina, #1 pick last year. There are two teams that have 3 All-Star selections, Las Vegas Aces and Chicago Sky, which include Courtney Vandersloot, Diamond DeShields, and my favorite, Ellie Quiggle from the Chicago Sky. And kind of a interesting thing where they're doing a draft pool where they have the 2 captains, and they pick anyone they want, kind of like what they did do for the NBA now, the last 2 years. But the really funny thing is, it'd be cool to see, like they did this for hockey a few years ago, where they televised the draft, and the whole thing was the last player selected would win a car, and Alex Ovechkin was like one or two picks away from being the last pick, and he wanted that car mainly to donate it to a family he had known from a DC hospital. Very nice guy, but the NBA has not done a televised draft for the All Star teams, and the WNBA is doing it on July 23rd. Kind of funny because like no one really pays attention to the WNBA. I get it, but all the hype of the NBA teams, because ESPN is so fascinated, just all around the NBA. They don't televise anything, which is kind of sad. So good that the WNBA did this before the NBA. So it's in Las Vegas, I think at the T-Mobile Center, uh, July 27th. I'm going to do my best to watch it. I feel like there's something else going on that day, but I'm not sure. Anyways, go ahead and watch it. So I just wanted to talk about that because no one else really talks about it. And maybe another video after the All-Star break, I'll make a video about, who's going down the stretch to make the finals. Aces will probably win the West, and I'm hoping for the Chicago Sky, but I think the Mystic will get their chance and maybe win with all their veteran players. Anyways, I know you didn't come here to this video for a WNBA talk. I get it. Want to talk about it. Let's get into some hats now. So I also talk about the WNBA because this is a NBA hat that I'm going to show you. Again, if you saw my hat reveal unboxing at my work, Fresh Time, you would have seen that I picked up from eBay a considered rare hat. You would have seen me pick up the Utah Jazz 2018 NBA draft hat. Now, if you're thinking, Professor, that looks like a NBA City Edition hat 1.0. Yes and no. Yes, it's an NBA City Edition hat where back in 2018 they started Nike and NBA did like these City Edition jerseys and hats, kind of tying with like a culture stamp of the team for each NBA team. For the draft, they used the base hat for the draft from the City Edition, but they added these 4 patches on the side for the draft. So that's the distinction. I know I'm being a little picky, but if you're like a really good hat collector, then you would know these differences. Not trying to call anyone out, but I know I've seen a few people, call these a City Edition hat, but it's technically not. Just wanted to point that out. Technicalities count, and of course, I'm always grading you guys, so accuracy counts. I mean, I'm still looking at it. I'm still amazed that I have this. I mean, look at the cascading pattern here on the bill. So when Utah came out with their City Edition hats, I'm thinking, what does that have to do with Utah? I was more thinking like a cooler color, with the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, and the lake, Salt Lake City, like the old '90s jerseys were, the purple and blues. But this made sense when I had heard that this more replicates the cascading colors of the rock formations in Zion National Park, Arches National Park in Utah. I've been there before. Very, very cool rock formations, and it's just very mesmerizing seeing all the rocks, and it's a really, really cool effect. I really like how they did it, and like starting at the top here, from where the cap meets the bill, the brim, it's like a dark red, if you can see, sorry, and then just cascades down into that light yellow. And it's such a cool hat. I think this is one of the cooler hats that the City Editions had that year. And their jerseys are based off of this really cool color scheme. I'll put it up on the screen here. And just the whole jersey cascades down, starts with the yellow and it just goes down to the shorts into like a dark red, brown, even a black color. Really cool thing. And they wanted the whole state to be represented in this design, not just the city, but the whole state, which is really cool. I got this hat as a 7 3/8. I'm usually a 7.5, but this is a low profile hat, and the way the physics of a hat works, that I've kind of at least noticed, a high crown, a normal crown where it's, like flat. It's a little bit tighter. It's more of a natural feel. But when it's curved, the cap part stretches out, and it's a bit of a looser feel. So I'm still going to find a way to stretch it out a bit. It fits okay, but it could be a bit looser. So I knew that going into it, but I had to have it. This is one of my lost hats. Well, I would like it without the patches on the side, but this is okay. Let me go over the patches on the side here. Freeze frame for that. So quickly, you see the UTA. That's the abbreviations for the team, like if you'd see on ESPN or whatever channel you're watching, the scorecard there, like LAL, Los Angeles Lakers, CHI, Chicago. On the bottom there is the flag for the city, Salt Lake City. Then on the side there, you have the eighth note for you non-musically inclined people. That represents an eighth note, the whole, jazz music theme. That's also kind of like their J in their regular logo. And kind of a cool thing that they use the eighth note to spell out jazz. I like it. And then on the top there is 79, which is the year that's supposed to represent the team was founded. But in this case, it was the year the team moved to Salt Lake City. Brief history. The Jazz started out in New Orleans, the Big Easy, where jazz was a thing. Louis Armstrong, old ragtime, Dixieland swing music. They started in 1974. They had very bad facilities from what I had read, that where between the court and the ground floor, there was like a netting so that the players wouldn't fall over onto the floor like 5 feet below. So it was like bad conditions, and the owners didn't like how that was facilitated toward them, and there were no prospects of anything changing, so they moved up to Utah. Kind of on a whim. Why Utah? It was a smaller market, and I didn't read why, so maybe I'll comment down below sometime later why they actually moved to Utah. But there had been some basketball success in Utah before. The Utah Stars, an American Basketball Association team, won championship in 71, and they eventually got routed out in 76. I don't know, routed out, or they just left in 76. Or they probably folded. So the Jazz moved in, and they kept the Jazz name because they didn't have enough time to put paperwork into the NBA front office to change the name. So the Jazz name stuck. So I'm really happy I got this hat from eBay. Really nice pickup. One of my lost kind of hats with an asterisk. So I'm still going to be looking for a Utah Jazz hat without the patches on the side, but just a simple, plain NBA edition hat from the Jazz. Still also looking for the Bulls hat. Alright, let's move on to the next hat, which is another cool rare edition hat. The 1 of 100 snapbacks that you probably don't have. Next. So if you have been watching my videos, if you've talked with me on Instagram or Twitter, by the way, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I share a lot of pictures, especially with Instagram. I share more there about my hat collection and get to interact with more of you followers out there through Instagram. So follow me on Instagram if you can. So if you followed me, if you've known me for a while, I'm into politics. One of my big hats, my presidential hat. I want to be president someday. 2032, by the way. Vote for me. So I'm very into politics ever since I was in second grade. And I have a snapback vote hat that I had gotten from eBay. This was part of a 2016 presidential campaign hat lineup that New Era had. They also had snapbacks for Democratic and Republican Party, and then one hat that had the two animals fighting each other, staring each other down. Pretty cool hat. Still looking for it. So I'm waiting for 2020 to come around and getting those hats that will come out. So pretty simple hat. Vote, check off, when you go vote. I hope you guys go and vote. And pretty cool hat. But the one that I got is a similar hat. Now you're thinking, well, Professor, it's the same hat. Well, a little bit different. I mean, when I got this hat, the bill was kind of wonky when it was shipped, so the other difference is this is a lighter blue and lighter red than this darker one. So, pretty simple, black underbill side here, And pretty simple. Red, white, and blue American flag underside here. Look at that. Look at that. That is such a cool underside. I mean, you better be in shock and awe for that. I mean, also, like, on the inside, especially in the cap part here, it's like a silk. It's not like a, like, buckram. I mean, this part is like buckram, but, like, there's, like, a cloth on the inside here where the flag is, flag pattern, and it's just such a cool design, and I had seen it before, and granted, do I really need another vote snapback? Not really. Did I pay a little bit more than I should have? 18 bucks? Yeah, but I mean, come on, it's a 1 in 100 hat. Even says here, hashtag, 1 of 100. So this is a really cool hat to have, just to be part of the collection. So I won't take the sticker off because, it's a rare hat. Very rare hat. So yeah, the brim is a little bit off, so I don't know if I'll wear it out so much, but here and there I'll wear it. Maybe when I go to vote in 2020, like you all should, doesn't matter who, just go vote. I'll wear this out. And I've gotten compliments before on my other vote hat when I've worn it when I voted in 2018 and then voted for myself in 2019 for trustee. So, yeah, good hats. Alright class, that's going to end it today for this video. I'm so glad that you came in and joined me in for class for this exciting video. These rare hats I got from eBay. That's the great thing about eBay, that I'm finding all these like rare hats or these hats that I've considered like lost hats or like hard to find, and sometimes they go for pretty cheap. This one was about 15 bucks. 18, again, kind of overpaid. I wanted to pay 15, but there are some other hats I've been looking at that are, I would say, rare. They're also in excellent condition that I'm looking at, but of course, gotta get a job so I can, really support my hat addiction. So go out and look at eBay. It's a pretty cool place. I haven't used it as often as before, but seeing all these great hats that are kind of rare and at a good price, go ahead, look at eBay, see what you can find. Can make some good connections out there. So hat number, I'm going to say 140 or 139, hat number 139 in my collection, the Utah Jazz NBA 2018 draft hat with the patches on the side. And hat number 140 is this Snapback New Era 950 vote hat with the very excellent patriotic American flag pattern on the bottom there, on the underneath the cap and underneath the brim. So very, very cool. I'm so excited about this one, how cool it is and how rare it is, and probably no one else would have a vote hat. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the class, welcome to the class. Hope you can join the class and join the other students in the room here, lecture hall. Comment down below which hat you liked that I had. Comment down below if you're going to be watching the WNBA draft this upcoming weekend, if you have a WNBA hat yourself. If you also gotten a hat from eBay, what's your best pickup? So, thank you for watching. As always, hats off to you. Have a good day, guys. Class dismissed.